I'll assume you can follow the tab or the standard notation from the beginning of this video well enough that you can learn the notes on your own. So rather than going note by note, we're going to go phrase by phrase, talk about fingerings, chord shapes, and some techniques that'll make this easier to play. If you do need some help reading tab, I've got a video on that topic and I'll leave a link for that in the description. Also in the description, you'll find a link for ordering a PDF of this arrangement. Version 1 of Ode to Joy is essentially melody over some sustained chords. We start off with the melody over a partial C chord, C and G in fact. What you want to do is keep the C and G sustaining while you play the melody on top. So fourth finger on this G, and then keep that C and G sustained. Now here we move to a low G in the bass with third finger and your melody with fourth finger. And then we do have a more full chord here. We have a C chord with melody on string 2 and a G over B chord with fingers 2 and 4, and then a C chord again, this time with the melody on string 1. Now play this melody note with your fourth finger, this D on the second string, and that low G with your third finger, and that's a partial G chord there. Low G, D, G, and D. And if you're curious about that G over B chord, I do have a video on slash chords, and I'll leave a link for that in the description. Measures 5 through 8 are the same as measures 1 through 4, except for measure 8. So we still have that sustained C and G while you're playing the melody. Finger 4 here. Fingers 3 and 4 here. Then we have a C chord with melody on string 2. Same G over B chord with fingers 2 and 4. C chord again. And now we have a partial G chord with the melody on string 2, and that melody is going to be with your fourth finger, that D, string 2, fret 3. So play the low G with your third finger, that's going to be G, D, G, and D. And then to a C chord with melody on string 2. Measures 9 through 12, the chords change a lot more frequently, so you'll want to make sure you pay attention to those chords. That's going to help you find good fingerings. Measure 9 starts off with a partial G chord, low G, D, G, and D again. Play the low G with third finger, and your melody note, D with your fourth finger. Second half of measure 9, we have a C chord. You don't need your first finger right away, but might as well place it down on the C, first fret, second string, and have it prepared because you're going to need to play it on beat 4. So I push my first finger down here, just so it's ready. Measure 10, we have that same partial G chord, G, D, G, and D. Then we have a hammer-on from E to F. Do that with first finger. And then we have a C chord again, just like we had in measure 9. Prep your first finger so it's all ready to go for beat 4. Measure 11, we have that same partial G chord. And then we have another hammer-on from E to F, but this time I'd like you to hammer on with your second finger because you need your first finger right away for this G sharp on beat 3. And then fourth finger on that melody note at the end of the measure. Then A minor chord with melody on string 2. Finger 4 here. And then a partial G chord is just low G, D, and then open G. Play that low G with your third finger. I'm going to go back to measure 9 and play that whole section again so you can hear it in context. Prep first finger, hammer with 1, prep first finger, hammer with 2, A minor, partial G. And then measures 13 through 16 are the exact same as measures 5 through 8. So sustain that low C and G, C chord, G over B with fingers 2 and 4, C chord, Version 2 of Ode to Joy is mostly melody with bass note accompaniment. Finger 2 and 4. Finger 2 and 4. Finger 1 and 3. Finger 2 and 4. Now we do have a C chord. Fourth finger on this melody note D. And then we have a partial G chord, that low G, D, G, and D again. Then measures 5 through 8 are the same as measures 1 through 4, except for measure 8. Finger 2 and 4. Finger 2 and 4. Finger 1 and 3. 2 and 4. Now here's where it's different. We have a partial G chord played with fingers 3 and 4. That's going to be low G, D, G, and D. And then to a C chord with melody on string 2. Measures 9 through 12 in this version are the exact same as measures 9 through 12 in version 1. So we start off with that partial G chord with a low G, D, G, and then another D. That's with fingers 3 and 4. As before, you're going to prep your first finger here. Hammer with finger 1. Then prep finger 1. Hammer with finger 2. Finger 4 on this melody note here. A minor. Finger 4. And then partial G chord, just as in version 1. And then measures 13 through 16 are the exact same as measures 5 through 8. Finger 2 and 4. Finger 2 and 4. 1 and 3. 2 and 4. partial G chord, and then to a C chord. Version 3 of Ode to Joy features a lot of repeated Gs on the third string between melody notes. At the beginning, we have... In between that, you're going to hear... So just constantly hitting that open third string. Underneath that, you want to make sure you're sustaining these low Cs with your third finger just to support the melody. We restate that bass note here and keep it ringing. Measure 3, repeat the bass note again. Now I just played a C with my first finger on the second string, first fret. I'm going to keep that first finger down because I need it in the next measure, and it's just going to make it that much easier. So here I play this D with my fourth finger, but I keep my first finger down. Now here's why I'm keeping my first finger down, because I need it right here. And then fourth finger on this melody note, and a partial G chord. I'm going to play measures 1 through 4 again so you can hear that in context. Keep first finger here. And then measures 5 through 8 are the same as measures 1 through 4, except for measure 8. Keep that bass note ringing. Now here in measure 8, we have a low G with your third finger and a D on the second string with your fourth finger. Make sure this next note you're playing on the fourth string, that open D, and then to a C chord. And measures 9 through 12 in version 3 are the same as in version 1 and in version 2. So we have that partial G chord, prepping first finger, hammer with 1, prep first finger, hammer with 2, A minor, and then partial G chord, G, D, and G. And measures 13 through 16 are the exact same as measures 5 through 8. C chord. And that was Ode to Joy for solo guitar. 3 different versions, in fact. Have fun with this, and don't forget to check the description to see where you can order the PDF. That's all for now. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time with more guitar tips and arrangements.